Hold on.
Hey, welcome. It's your boy Patrick, aka Patty, aka Patty freaking Clips here, officially with the boys for episode 1 of the weekly function. That's not going to be weekly, more like maybe once, twice a year, or a couple years, something like that. We got the boys together. We're gonna run a podcast. We're streaming right now live on Twitch. We may have topics from the chat. So if you want to be a part of the live stream, the live podcast, next time we do it, make sure you sub to me or follow me on Twitch, Patty freaking Clips.
Hey,
Make sure you follow the boy
yeah.
Ninty SG as well. He'll get a little moment here to plug. So we're gonna call it the weekly function. We'll see how that goes. It's not gonna be weekly, but
It's like weekly in quotations.
yeah, in quotations. We'll make sure that happens. Hello YouTube. As you can see, shout out to Wedis who just commented live on Twitch. So go ahead and plug yourself. We'll start with the boy Ninty SG.
I'm chilling. It's me, NitsySG, TTV/NitsySG. That's me. Your boy, me. It's me. Yeah, I do stuff sometimes. YouTube sometimes. So TTV or not TTV, but NitsySG on everything. I think like every
YouTube,
Yeah,
Twitter,
Twitter, OnlyFans.
Instagram, MySpace.
Instagram. Yeah. All there. Tyler, plug yourself. All your channels.
We'll hop over to the left. Now we'll hop over to the left. Let's go with Quan.
Yeah, Quan, Cast Me Outside on Twitch. Yeah, that's it.
True.
Wait, Quan, you're a little bit unique though. Tell us what kind of stuff you stream, cause it's not like us.
Oh, I'll stream code. I'll stream myself coding. I'll play some Apex. I might play some party games like Overcooked, Moving Out. So whatever's fun.
Okay. Will this group be good? I don't think.
Actually, no, this group might be good for like moving out or something. That would be a good thing. I
I'm
tried
trying
to
to
get
see,
you guys
bro.
on Don't Starve, but I don't think that was our niche.
I think
No.
like Overcooked and Move Out is more heavy.
Actually, Overcooked would be like a good game if
Yeah,
everyone.
I think everybody will hear will scream at each other 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day. If it was Dom,
Alright.
he would leave immediately.
Intro,
We could
intro.
try,
Go
we could
ahead,
try.
Tyler. I'm done.
But yeah, Quan, make sure you guys follow him on Twitch, coding. He does a bunch of cool stuff. Cool guy. So make sure you guys give him a follow too. Anybody who sees this. So lastly, we'll go with my boy, named after me, Papa freaking Tyler himself. Bit higher for Ninty. I got you, lettuce.
Named after you.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. You know how it goes.
It's Tyler, aka Papa Freaking, aka the only real dad here. What's up?
100%. Yeah. I'll just,
And I had the name first, okay? You're my son, so you're named after me, dog.
I'm confused.
True. I'm older, but I'll be your son somehow.
That's how it works.
All right, cool. Yeah, this
Wait,
is
your names aren't the same. How is that working? What are we saying?
Tyler freaking, Papa freaking, Patty freaking. What do you mean? How's that not the same?
It's what? Okay, cool. Never mind. Moving on. Let me find this thing, bro.
Yeah. So shout out to the boys. This is all we got for this episode. But hey, we'll try to get everyone in next time. Dom, Lettuce, Al, maybe Pandas. We'll see who we can get. Greg. We'll see who we can get to stop by and run it. So real quick, we'll just start it with the most talked about, highly debated and discussed topic. I'm for Will. I'm for Chris, man. You know how it goes. So if you don't know, now you know. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across the face. Was not staged. We now have the subsequent apology on.
Oh, there's an actual apology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did actually apologize on
Yeah, the verbal
Instagram.
apology and a written one. And Chris Rock didn't press charges or anything. And
Yeah, I knew that.
the latest thing he said was, "I'm still trying to process it."
Yeah, so
Wow.
No.
Hey, got him! Got him! Got him! Hey, your wife's cool, bro. Your wife's on.
The
Hey,
first-
put
the
put
first
her on.
gag
Put
of
off, Tyler.
the first.
You're not
gag
allowed
of
on the show no more, bro.
I'm
You're not allowed
literally
on the show no more.
dead.
It's all your wife.
Hey, hey.
Let's take care of the kids, bro.
Quick.
100%.
This is how it's gonna work. Quick. Shout out to Papa's wife. Quick divert now because I have to tell this story.
Got him.
Papa's wife has trolled a couple times in the history of our friendship,
yeah.
playing one time back in the day, Papa randomly messaged me on Discord while I'm at work. I'm working remote, and I think he's about to hop on. So we're just going back and forth. I'm like, hey, Papa, what up? And afterwards, he just randomly asked me if I have any help when you have the runs, when you have diarrhea. And I'm like, what the heck, bro? This is kind of weird to ask me, you know what I mean? Your father, you got a kid, he probably had diarrhea before. You know how to handle. But it ended up being his wife just pranking us. So that's hilarious. She came through with that. Shout out to Papa's wife and the new kid. So that's hilarious. I'm dead.
Absolutely goated. Hey, you just
I was so unexpected, too. That's so funny. But yeah, that's kind of the recap on the situation. Papa, did you see the slap or no? I know you're kind of busy these days.
See it, I've heard about it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Oh.
I've
Hold on, we
seen
gotta play it on
memes
stream,
about it. I haven't seen the actual slap.
Wait, they have to play it on stream.
Yeah, I'll play it on stream. Why not?
No, I'll do this. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen.
I
Yeah.
feel like what you're about to play is like not original.
So Papa, you know how the Oscars are.
Wait, does he?
Yeah. Long story short, we're also gonna mute the blurb. Long story short, Chris Rock is doing his thing as host, telling jokes, about to announce the next award, and a certain couple jokes maybe got taken a little too personally. So we'll explain it after Ninty shows the video.
What's killing me about the Oscars this year was it was actually organized by a black guy too.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's a little tough.
It just makes it a little bit more tough because it's like you already know there's just that saying that they always say to people who can't take you guys nowhere.
Yeah.
Wait, that actually makes a lot of sense. I saw something about in Ninty's video.
You want uncensored? You want uncensored or what? Yeah, the black Oscars.
Yeah, do understand? I didn't know what they meant by white Oscars. I just assumed because white people host the awards.
No, this is just like always like they're trying to do more integration, of course, and have people of color.
That's such a good point. I didn't even know that.
So this is just one of those times where it's like, how can you do this?
So we'll watch the video real quick, for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Can you see it, or is it black?
We saw it for a second and then it went black.
Yeah, it's black.
We see it now.
Now it's here.
Oh, now you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is uncensored, by the way. Is that all right?
Okay.
Yeah, totally fine.
I say, can we skip forward to the part?
It's here. It's all 1 minute.
It's okay. It's okay.
He's up there, hee hee ha ha.
Note the face she had.
Wait, one more time. It was a little quiet for me.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
That face, bro.
Unentertained. But the thing was, the thing was, we should really finish this before we say anything. Just finish.
Yeah, let's run it.
All the way through.
That eye roll she just did.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
I want to see like the front.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow,
Look
dude.
at Lupita.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
They're telling him in his ear,
That
just
was
go with it. Go with it.
Greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeesh.
So yeah, her face showed it all. That she was not entertained by it. But what's killing me this entire time is that Will thought it was funny. And then he saw her face. There's like
That's the
there's
thing.
other
They cut away
videos
from
that
him?
show videos that show his face when he looked at his wife's face.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
So he didn't have a problem with it. He had no problem with
Yeah,
it.
he
was
loved
okay
it.
with it at first, but then she thought
And that's
about
what
it a
I'm
little
saying.
bit more.
If you look up other videos will show you like the angle of him looking at her face and then
really?
no longer being entertained by it. So because like for the rest of the Oscars after that happened, they did not show Will Smith's section at all.
I did see a couple of fan videos of their section though.
that was a nice one.
I want to see. I want to know if they have an angle behind Chris Rock or like facing the crowd.
Okay.
I want to see if Will was like smiling while he
The
was
moment
walking up.
nah, he
I'm
wasn't.
not,
He wasn't.
I'm not
Oh, he
convinced.
wasn't?
I'm not convinced.
You don't think it's real?
Yeah, so
Nah, I don't think it's real.
a couple things about why you may not feel like it's Will. Okay, you can cut it out now, Ninty. Just come back on camera. We'll watch the slap one more time.
Also, this isn't the first time Will Smith has actually slapped someone. Let's be a red carpet event. He was talking to someone. They said something and they were dapping each other up, giving each other like a hug. But as soon as the guy said something, I don't know specifically what was said. Will Smith slapped him and then pointed at him and was like, "Don't say that shit again." Will Smith has done this before. It's nothing new.
Interesting. I didn't know about that.
Will Smith is under tension. Like if I was Chris Rock, in my opinion, I'm not talking about Will and Jada just because their entire relationship is volatile. I might talk about his kids selling boxed water to the underprivileged, but that's all in good. That's all in good.
Nancy, you're gonna
doing
turn it
good
off.
things. But I'm not talking about Will Smith or Jada. No, I don't have time for it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what happened, Papa. Long story short, Chris Rock doing his thing as host. And she did not like the joke.
We should change the podcast name to a bunch of no names.
A bunch of no names, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I get why you could think maybe it was fake because of the way Chris Rock, he handled it really well. The slap was real quick, and then he kind of laughed, played it off, right? So I can understand why some people would think it's fake. For me, the thing that sells it is they censored Will Smith screaming, maybe because he did use expletives, but I mean, come on, bro, it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? You can get away with a couple words. Why not bleep only the words? But he bleeped the whole thing. And then his speech definitely sold it for me, not fake. And then even after that, he apologized on Instagram. So for me, I don't think it's fake at all.
In the crowd.
Yeah, some people were shocked. Some people laughed. Some people, I'm assuming some people thought it was fake.
They said it was really tense in the Oscars after that. Like for the rest of it, it was just really tense. Jokes were like tiptoe around eggshells.
For sure.
Tense.
I hate that, man.
So yeah, I definitely think it's real. I understand why. I mean, this is probably the most viewed Oscar in who knows how many years. Not to mention, I was watching videos on YouTube, the uncensored versions, like random clips. I was watching fan clips of like Denzel coming to Will Smith to comfort him, his publicist coming, and they had like tens of millions of views that night, like maybe 30 minutes later. Yeah. So I understand why people would think it was fake.
The thing is, like, I guess we have to ask this question: was Will Smith right, and could he have handled it 10 times better?
Because if he got upset enough to go up on stage to do that, and he didn't continue it like with a whole fight or try to beat him down, he had enough poise to back off, but not enough to, not do it. So I don't think he was right.
In my opinion, I feel like he could have just waited till after the show or something, because like
100%, and then handle it civilly. Like why are we?
Many people don't know. Many people didn't know or weren't aware that Jada Pinkett has alopecia.
No one knew until
exactly.
That. Yeah.
So it's like no. I mean, I'm pretty sure the family knew. I'm pretty sure maybe close friends knew. But some people were like,
we're assuming Chris Rock definitely didn't know, right? I didn't know. Right. I had no clue.
So it's like it wasn't an insensitive joke. It wasn't meant to.
But
with fame her.
Even if it was like he is still a comedian and.
That's what he was paid to do. He was paid to MC. Yeah. He was paid to make it fun. Make it a good time.
Not saying all comedians just go and they get either a free pass or whatever, but at the same point in time, it's comedy for a reason. Because
100%.
Yeah, and it's not like you can, and you shouldn't be. I mean, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't, but like scripting your jokes and going up. Hey, I think I'm gonna make a joke about your bald head. Is it okay? Is there something sensitive about it? Like he just got up there and he winged it. That's what Chris Rock did.
100%.
Just like any other MC that's a comedian, they get up there.
Otherwise, he would have even had a funnier and probably more harsh joke.
Right.
100%.
It probably I don't know. I feel like it was just. I don't know. It could have been handled better by Will than 100%. Chris Rock, because Chris Rock was just doing his job. You can't beat the guy up for just doing his job.
I think he could have probably said what he wanted. He could have yelled while he stayed in his seat. But him getting up and doing that, I don't know what he thought would come after that.
Yeah, I was
In
telling
a
I
good
was
way.
telling someone like when he went up there to give his speech for accepting the award, he could just be like, "Hey, yo, I really appreciate this award. I might use it to beat Chris Rock later for like making that
That's-
joke about my wife,
and
but
made it
I'm really happy about like it would have been subtle, but it would have
and
been
he-
like it would have got the point across."
And the other thing about that too is Will Smith is brilliant, like comedian, artist,
Yeah.
actor. Like Will Smith is brilliant. Look how he kept his composure, didn't stutter on his words. He could have definitely came back with something harsh to Chris. I mean, we know tons of stuff. Chris Rock drinks, right? Gambling, stuff like that. Bad movies, whatever he wants to joke about, he could have done that too. And I feel like that would have handled the situation a lot more civilly. I also think Quan's point, I didn't know about the white Oscars thing and this being the first one being run by somebody who's black. I feel like that kind of takes a lot of attention away from something that was good.
This is the first time too.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
first time. So now
Time this and then something like that happens. That's
now it's kind of like a meme thing. It's like, oh, this is what's going to happen, you know.
Oh no, it's already
That's
become a
close.
meme. They
White
already got
Oscars,
it.
black Oscars.
Right.
So
There's
that does suck. Like he can't
They even
act
got
civilly. Maybe
got
that's why he
18.
wasn't taken out. We also had an interesting thing. Do you think he slapped somebody if that's a white comedian? Like, let's say that's Bill Burr.
Oh no, I was talking to someone about that, but it wasn't like white comedian. It was just like he wouldn't have went up and tried to slap
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, what's that dude?
So
Bernie
he
Mac.
just thinks Chris
He
Rock.
would- he
is a
wouldn't
bitch
have
then?
dared
They've
walk up
worked
to him.
together before, right?
I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly which movies or anything or TV shows or whatever, but I'm
And
pretty
if
sure.
if anything, he probably just executive produced movies that Will was in.
So you think it was
I
because
can't
it
see
was
the reason
Chris
that
Rock?
They aren't good friends.
Because it
Yeah,
was Chris
that's
Rock, or
the
that's
crazy
what I
thing,
wonder.
like does he think does Will just think Chris Rock's a bitch or something?
Yeah, he's the one that's steal on.
Yeah, he's
Also,
the one
we're
to
not-
try.
Also,
Like,
it's
what?
like this is gonna. We don't know how this is really gonna affect Will's career later. Like I can see
It-
him
it-
being like,
it's gonna-
"Oh no, I
it's
got
gonna
a
have no-
perfect role for you, Will. All you gotta do is walk up and slap this guy. That's all you gotta do."
Hey,
Ma-
I mean,
honestly-
they don't meme him.
Yeah, my guess is it's probably in some kind of comedy. He probably does it, and it's memed and laughed at, and it kind of takes away from what actually happened. It's not going to affect his career at all. Honestly, I don't think so. Maybe a couple of directors personally feel like, come on, bro, how do you act like that so unprofessional? Maybe a couple people who are like well known, like people who are making those movies every single time they make a movie. Maybe they don't cast him, but it's not going to affect him too much. He's Will Smith.
I mean, they did
They
debate
did.
about removing him from the Academy membership. They're not gonna take away his award. He earned this award. The votes went in.
That's
before
interesting.
The Oscars happened, so they can't be like, "Oh, we were thinking about giving you the award, but now we're gonna take it away." Like, no, people voted.
That's not really a
He
punishment
already
for
won.
him though, because he won the award. I think if he
Right.
was Oscar-less and he lost the option to go to the awards, then that
Yeah,
punished him. He won an Oscar. He doesn't care.
That's
Is
what.
that his
That's
first
what,
Oscar?
His first
No, I
one.
don't think so.
Yeah, that's
That
his
was
first one. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. But yeah,
What's the
that's
other- what's
crazy
the other
then.
award
Like to get
show?
your first
Emmys?
Oscar and then be like, "Oh yeah, you no longer have membership to the Oscars." So, good luck.
What's the other one for movies? Is it Emmys or is that music?
Grammys is music.
Yeah,
is
Grammys.
music?
Emmys is TV and musical and all that stuff combined, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
To-
crazy.
For me, like seeing him laughing and stuff at the joke, like it has that feel like his wife was in his ear and he had to do something about it.
No, yeah, that's the
Aaron,
crazy
the
thing.
Aaron Yeager,
My-
the Aaron Yeager.
He didn't. He
in your
didn't
ear.
really feel that kind of way about it.
Yeah,
but
it was one
Yeah.
Oscar only.
It was
We
just
don't-
because his wife had reacted the way she reacted, and he felt some sort of way. And I feel like this is just pent up tension that he could have gotten out in a more constructive way.
Yeah, somewhere
than
else.
thinking,
100%.
oh, I got to make a big statement here. I'm on TV, and he's disrespecting my wife in front of millions of people who are watching.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, what
Yeah,
about
we were
the
talking
what
about
about the
it
jokes on the internet, bro? She's getting disrespected all over the place
Oh, yeah,
because
100%.
Oh, yeah,
She
I mean,
was
like,
getting disrespected before
that's
this.
why I was like,
yeah.
that's why I was like, their whole relationship is volatile. Like, you can't be mad at what your man did when you've been doing this to him for like the last
Yeah,
5
no,
years?
yeah, 100%.
going public with all sorts of stuff and being like, "Oh yeah, I will never love you as much as I love Tupac."
She was hate exactly that thing. She was the internet
she
hated
said
her,
that?
bro.
Essentially, basically.
Lettuce said that
Like,
Jim Carrey commented on it that because it was Will Smith, he had a different treatment. To be honest, he understands his point. Will Smith is a role model for people, and Jim's opinion was that if someone else with less influence, security would have taken them. Because it's Will Smith, he got special treatment.
For sure.
He was even invited to the after party, and people act like nothing happened.
I mean, with that, it's like, to go back to the earlier point, if he would have continued, if he wouldn't have just slapped him, if he would have went up there and like two-pieced him, I'm pretty sure they would have gotten security involved, like one hit versus like multiple hits.
How would you guys have felt if Chris Rock just stooled on, just literally they started fighting, he just took off on him?
They would have cut off stream right there.
But how would you guys have felt if he just took off on him?
I mean, I would have felt awful that they got into it like that. I would have felt like, Will was definitely in the wrong. It would have shifted from Will could have handled this a lot better to now Will's 100% in the wrong because now this guy's just defending himself.
Yeah, Chris Rock was obviously 1,000,000% the bigger man there, and he knew what this meant for him, and then
my dude was still
and all that stuff. He knew what all this
trying to lighten the mood right after that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
He was like, wow, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Like
he
it was a joke.
Exactly what doing that or not doing that meant for how that whole thing went down, basically. Because that just puts everything in a bad light. Obviously, if he reacts, so 1,000% he's the bigger man there. It doesn't matter, what is going to be said about him. Like if he's Chris Rock got bitched or
Chris Rock definitely was a real professional.
100%, bro, and I do definitely respect him for it. And honestly, I don't think he did anything wrong. No, Chris Rock.
Oh no, that's where it comes down to like him just genuinely not knowing.
Yeah.
My thing is,
because people would have been like, some people are sensitive about losing their hair. Like it's okay for a man to go bald. That's just the norm. When a woman decides to go bald, or if it's her choice, you gotta be a little bit sensitive about that.
Bro, come on. Like I just think about some of the comedians who, like, especially they joke about their family, their significant other. Like no one's off limits, and the things they say are way worse than you're in G.I. Jane 2. Who even saw G.I. Jane? Like that joke, in my opinion, that joke is dated. That joke would have been funny. That joke would have been funny like 25 years ago. It's not funny now.
I had to look it up because I was like, wait a minute, is this an actual?
Well, I know what it is. It was Demi Moore, right? No, who's the?
So you got me. I just looked it up to make sure it was real.
It's the girl from Star Wars. What's her name?
Padme from Star Wars?
Yeah.
I think of Will not laughing. Yeah, for sure. When he laughed,
she was in the Mandalorian.
I mean, I will say I respect Will. At least he apologized to Chris Rock. I mean, next day he slept on it. He was like, "Oh, I'm trolling. This was too much," and he went out of his own way. Didn't seem like a publicity, a PR apology.
I wonder what the conversation.
It seemed real.
I wonder what the conversation on the ride home was like. Honestly.
I mean, Jay was probably happy. I don't know. It's hard to say from the outside looking in because their relationship's so weird. And like Quan said, I imagine there's a lot of tension there anyway.
That's what makes it so volatile. It's like one person's being blatantly honest, but in a disrespectful way. And
I'm sorry. It looks like her. It's Demi Moore.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I knew about G.I. Jane, but even me having known the movie, and the reason I know the movie is back, when I was younger, before I had access to, and Quan, you're Papa, we're all about the same age. Back then, kids will laugh at us, but legitimately, we had dial-up. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone until I was in high school. So, back then, you know what I mean. I had to look for certain movies with a little material. You know what I'm saying? I had to find some borderline movies. You know what I'm saying?
It's an apology.
Your ex, bud.
I'm just being honest. Oh, you're sharing it?
Yeah.
Violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards is unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of my job, but a joke about Jada as a medical condition, alopecia in this case, was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line. I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I mean, it seems my only thing is anytime things like these happen, it needs to be an apology from the person. As long as it doesn't seem like some PR statement or whatever. For me, it's good to go. So I'm with it. It's fine. I don't think it excuses it. I think he was way overboard, but it is what it is.
That's
Yeah,
all. That's
I
that's all I'm
don't
saying
like
with it. It's just like it's nice they apologize. At the same time, it's just like, damn, like
I'm
that
not.
can't
I'm not for or against anyone. Like I can understand why people do things. I don't know if you guys heard about Jorge Masvidal and Kobe Covington. They're MMA fighters, very good fighters. They get paid tons of money. They had a fight and stuff. Pre-fight got a lot of real personal with Kobe talking about Jorge's kids, child support, all this kinds of stuff. And then after the fight, they fought in a bar. Jorge, I guess, was masked or something along those lines. He ran up on him, gave him a two-piece, knocked his tooth out, and then
Jesus.
Kobe pressed charges against him for him to, like for assault and everything like that. So for me, like
The ring, dog.
I understand why that happened. You know what I mean? I understand his frustration and like family's off limits. Like don't talk about my kids and stuff like that. It's on site. You know what I mean? So I understand where Will's coming from, but it doesn't make it right, in my opinion.
Yeah,
No, it
it's too
doesn't.
much
It doesn't make it
concern,
right. It definitely could have been handled a lot different. It's like
But
you could have
also,
just
like,
saw him at the after party and be like, "Yo, I didn't really appreciate those jokes."
that's
You know?
kind of different though, cause like that shit has history back to like WWE. Like you would get on there and you just smack talk your opponent, like
For sure.
Like there's precedent for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I
No,
mean,
you're
yeah,
definitely right.
exactly, there's that. Yeah, but I mean, going that far is crazy. To get like super personal like that.
I also think, in retrospect, Will Smith should feel very bad because with it being the first Oscars run by a black man, it does feel like, man, this is going to have severe consequences in the future. Hopefully it
Yeah.
doesn't. Hopefully not. But the Academy is a bunch of old white people. So for me, it's like,
I mean, all
Like,
they care about is
I don't got
numbers.
nothing. I don't got nothing against Will. You know, I just really think that he should seek some sort of help emotionally, mentally, when it comes down
I
to how
think-
he can handle these situations. Because it's just like I can understand it being,
I know
being
what
in a tense
Nipsey thinks.
situation like that. Being in a tense situation like that with a wife who constantly does things like this, having to worry about your daughter and who's she dating, and then finding out your wife's dating like it's just really a lot to take in. He should go see someone and get this out one way or another. I know
Yeah,
he
for
works
sure.
out. Like I've seen his TikToks.
and we all know Will Smith doesn't swear. He's a good person. Look, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't, this is not an indication of who Will Smith is. I think Will Smith is probably one of the most genuine, nice people.
I just don't think
You never hear any bad things
other.
about him. But yeah, I agree
Right.
with Ninti and Quan. I think this is a lot of stuff building up.
I genuinely don't think I'm not gonna say anything good or bad about either side. It's like, oh, Jada's, this type of person, Will's this type of person. I think just in general, they're not good for each other. When it comes to the end of the day, like that shouldn't be. Yeah, I think the way they have done life is too different, and I think from what each other have wanted, honestly. And obviously we're not super in their nobody's super in their relationship besides them.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's like, do we really need to be with the red table?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, the red table is crazy. Everything's out on the line. I mean, so yeah, I guess we're technically part of the family at this point.
Apparently, it did come out that Will Smith refused to leave.
Wow.
Hey, sir,
Yo.
we're gonna need you to step out. Like, nah. I'm waiting for this
Nah,
Oscar.
son, I'm good.
I'm waiting for this Oscar, bro. And if you
Jay-
ask me
West
to leave, I'm gonna go
Philadelphia,
up there and
born
smack
and
him again.
raised.
Well, we would like to
Jaden
clarify
Smith
that.
tweeted,
Oh yeah, go
and
ahead.
that's how Jaden Smith tweeted, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, yo, what the? Hey, that's mad disrespectful, bro. That's mad
Apparently
disrespectful.
they came out and said things unfolded in a way we could not have anticipated. While we'd like to clarify that Mr. Smith was asked to leave the ceremony and refuse, we also recognize we could have handled the situation differently. So they asked him to leave. He said no. They didn't make him leave. So
Hey, Jaden saying that, like,
I feel
those
like
short
I feel like
words?
it,
No,
bro, I hope he
bro.
look. Here's the thing: if Jaden said that,
he did
and then,
tweet
like,
that. He tweeted
and
that
then,
the
like,
night of.
and then like 7 years from now, he's doing the same thing, I'm gonna laugh, bro.
That
I'm
isn't
like,
elbow. Hey, that's straight up like tarnishing the whole Smith name. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I don't know
before
about
that,
tarnish it,
Will,
but I feel like they're gonna keep an eye on him and be like, yo, this dude, like we're gonna
Hey,
have
they
to
need
check
to
Jaden every
subtract
time
some
he comes to the
years.
ceremony. Is he carrying?
exactly.
Is he
It's
carrying?
to subtract some years and put him on punishment. Get him grounded again, bro. Nah, that's wild. That's so.
Like, can you
disrespectful,
really
actually.
ground the guy who's giving out free water, free bottled water to underprivileged?
Hey, I wonder if
All right.
wonder if that's how he disciplined his kids too.
Nah, I don't think he's like that at all, to be honest. But who knows?
No, exactly. Yeah. That's crazy.
Did you guys see the Batman?
No.
No, I have not yet. What did I just go see? I saw Jujutsu.
Papa, did you see the Batman?
I finally saw
No
Spider-Man.
Way Home.
Oh my God.
bro.
Did everyone see
Yeah.
No Way Home?
This guy,
years old
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
It's not 2 years
bruh,
old.
bruh.
It's like
Nancy, what I was
3
talking
months
about
old.
though, I'm
With
I'm
what?
really looking forward to the next movie. I'm really looking forward.
It was
to
really
Wanda.
good. I did
Multiverse?
like it a lot.
Yeah, multiverse is gonna.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange movie is gonna
Moon
be
Knight
sick.
dropped tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have Morbius dropping this week, right?
No, it got pushed back again.
Did it? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I
fourth
swear it
time.
got pushed back. Wait a minute, no. This week is April, isn't it?
What,
This week is the
did you
beginning
say
of April.
Morpheus?
Morbius.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That I know what y'all talking about.
Vampire
Yeah.
one.
yeah, Morbius.
I thought it got
Yeah,
pushed.
yeah.
I thought it got pushed back again, but then I forgot how close to April we were.
That's yikes.
Yeah, it's supposed to drop tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys gonna see that or no?
The first.
I want to see it. I want to see
Well,
it, but the person I want to
real
see
quick,
it with
what's
is all
the-
like, it's not really that important to
Did
them.
it really get pushed back? It still says April.
No,
No, no.
It's still no. I got the date. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
how close
it's
to
this
April
week.
we
It's
were.
it's this
My
week. It's
fault.
this
April
week.
1st.
Yeah, it's April
Are we
1st.
Yeah,
sure,
it's
are we
tomorrow.
sure that's not an April Fool's joke?
No, it's this
Maybe.
week. It's this week.
I just didn't
tomorrow.
already have
What's,
Rotten Tomato and other
Early
everything
reviews.
else.
Early.
It's because I see it first. Yeah.
It's got 19% right now.
I'm not worried about
I
it.
mean-
I'm going to go watch it regardless.
Yeah, critics. You know, sometimes it is what it
I
is.
know, I know.
What's the last movie you guys saw in theaters? By the way.
I saw
What was the
Jujutsu.
last?
Oh, you went and saw. Okay, Kaijin.
Yeah.
What was the last? I think the last movie I went to go see was No Way Home in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
there was a movie, unless there's another Marvel movie that came out after that.
I
Yeah,
went and
really.
saw the Batman. That was the last movie I saw. I saw
Really,
like
that-
last week, a week and a half ago, something like that.
I only go to the theaters when it's what you call it.
Shang-Chi was a while ago.
I'll say Shang-Chi
Oh, no,
was
no,
definitely
okay.
last year, right?
Yeah, never mind. Okay.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, it was the end of last year.
You don't be going to the movies, Papa?
I went with like Brad and everybody, but
Yeah,
Imagine going
I
Brad
feel like it
Boy.
was a Marvel movie of some sort.
yeah. For me, it's just like if it's a Marvel movie, I'm going to go see it in theaters. Usually, just because.
How you guys feel about these Marvel movies making $1 billion every time one releases?
I mean, we're just in that culture now. It's the center of pop culture, honestly.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
if you're not watching Marvel movies, then you're watching what? Harry Potter. And nothing against Harry Potter.
and
It's
not
like
that
you-
often.
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Harry Potter game?
I did.
Oh, the game.
I'm really
it?
really convinced.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I need to watch those
Is
other
the,
movies that are
uh,
supposed to be correlated to that.
The Fantastic Beasts.
Yes.
Legacy.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts are great movies, and that game, Hogwarts Legacy, looks god tier. It looks amazing. It's pretty crazy. They called it the Old Republic of Harry Potter version of Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
Of Star Wars Old Republic?
Yeah, like
Yep.
you make your own character,
That's
open world.
Is it
Mhm.
MMO like that, or is it more?
Yeah.
Not it's single player as far as I understand. It's no MMO, so you're not gonna have cross world, but the world is massive. Like you can choose whatever you want to do, and apparently there is the option to go to the dark side, so you can learn curses, and also become a dark wizard instead of being a
How-
good.
Hey,
House
Dark Wizard
Slytherin.
reminds me
House
of,
Slytherin all day.
Dark Wizard reminds me of those TikToks, bro. It was like
Damn.
the black guy, the only black guy in Hogwarts. I have to bring that up, bro. Hold on.
Oh, you're talking about the kid who takes the scores and everything in Gryffindor?
No.
the
It
locks?
was TikToks. It was a meme. It wasn't.
Oh, but I'm saying there is only like one black kid that I
Oh,
do
really?
know. And yeah, he's in Gryffindor. He's the one that takes the scores for the Quidditch games. It's sad, but yes.
in Hogwarts.
It's so funny. Oh yeah, he also does the paper. He also does a section in the paper for Hogwarts. He's multi-talented. He just doesn't get a lot of screen time.
Yeah, so with that game coming out and Elden Ring, Ninty, you're the only one of us that played Elden Ring, right? Quan, did you play
Yeah,
Elden
yeah,
Ring?
No, but I was gonna download it. I'm just not sure
It
yet.
looks actually kind of interesting. There's a lot of monsters.
The crazy thing is, the reason
What?
he said it kind of weird.
No, like
It looks interesting. There's a lot of Monsters. Okay, bud. There's monsters in every game.
The reason I bought Elden Ring and it's staying true now is because I saw so much of it, and even with everything I saw when I went to the game, I still didn't see everything. Like I watched 2 or 3 people do a playthrough. I didn't watch the entire thing. I didn't watch like final boss or nothing like that. But I saw them go through their entire playthrough, do different things and stuff like that, and it may have been how they edited it. I mean, I saw it all over there, all over YouTube, all over TikTok as well. But when I went in, I had my own different, like, fresh experience. I liked it a lot. I mean, I'm still I was playing through.
I
So I'm
mean,
enjoying it.
I kind of expected it to be like that with all the different classes you can pick from, all the
There's
different
also a lot
play
of-
styles. It's like it gives like Bloodborne vibes, but way more open world.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. It's more open world, so there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to go see and explore.
There's
different
also a
ways
lot
to
of like
build your
hidden
character and all
bosses.
that.
I like Easter eggs and stuff in that
Yeah,
game.
yeah. That's really dope.
Like
as well.
there's a boss that literally you only see it if you go to a certain spot, you sleep 2 times in a row, and it has to be nighttime.
That's crazy. I mean, that's cool, but that's like crazy Easter egg.
So the reason that I ask, what's your guys' feeling on the current state of game? Because all of us play a lot of games. You know, whether it's huge games, League, COD, Warzone. How do we feel about the fact that games are incomplete and Elden Ring seemingly is the most complete game to release since maybe a Zelda game?
Tyler, what was that other game that just came out that you wanted to get?
I was looking at Tiny Tina's. Matt said he
Tiny Tina's-
didn't
okay,
think it
Tiny
looked
Tina's.
very good. But
Okay.
I mean, I'm willing to give like a Borderlands.
Yeah, I saw Shroud play. It looks kind of meh. But
Yeah, but
the reason
they
is
were
it's like
saying-
overhead and there's only instances of first person
really?
shooting. So
I
like
didn't know that.
yeah, like the way they explore is like Final Fantasy style almost. And then when you run into an enemy, it turns into an instance, which then like goes first person Borderlands style and you beat the instance and then you
Okay.
go back to the Final Fantasy style overhead. So it's a
interesting.
bit weird, but yeah, I mean, other than Elden Ring, I think the most complete game probably to come out in forever. I mean, you have to go all the way back to probably like a Zelda Nintendo style game. Most games are like beta,
Breath of the,
or they come out and they're just completely
There's a lot of indie
unready.
games-
Breath of,
There's a
Breath
lot
of
of
the
indie
Wild.
games that come out pretty
Breath of the Wild was
complete,
great.
but I mean, other than
Um,
that, I mean,
I mean, what was the last
biggest
game
thing-
you bought and you really walked away thinking like, wow, I'm glad I bought that game. This was really fun. This was worth the money. Because like for me, it's like, man, most games are free to play now, and you kind of see why. But it's like, man, other than Elden Ring, that most people seem to be really enjoying the grind and playing that. It seems like games nowadays are just so incomplete. Infinite trash,
same.
Battlefield trash, Cyberpunk trash. Like
Yeah, Cyberpunk was
the
was
the way the games are launching, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about that? Do you think this is a worrying trend, or do you think like with Elden Ring coming out and the advancement of consoles, especially too, you know, like being able to play cross-platform and stuff like that, are we heading in a worse direction, or do you guys think they're like, oh, Elden Ring's a sign of a promise, like in the future moving forward?
I hope Elden Ring's a sign of like, hey, we're getting back into stuff. The crazy thing is Elden Ring is mostly single player, so you know we're getting back to that kind of single player centric kind of thing. Is okay. Obviously, I like multiplayer, so if we made a complete multiplayer game somewhere down the line, I 100% I'm down for it.
I don't know.
the
It feels
thing-
like we're the game right now. We're getting farmed. You know what I mean?
honestly,
Exactly.
For all
I
our
think
corners,
that-
bro.
I think that when it comes down to most games, and it's like you can reference the RDC World videos, like they put the game out at half completion because they know people are gonna buy it, and if people keep
honestly,
buying it, they're just gonna keep doing the same thing. It's like
I
the-
can't remember a game that I bought within
Well-
like the past 2 years when I was
Okay,
like,
all right.
Like the last game I
uh,
spent money on because I knew I was going to be able to get it for $50 instead of $69 or $70 was Vanguard, and that's because I had gotten the videos and I got notifications that they were going to redo the entire zombies experience. So I'm hoping that the zombie experience is going to be cool. What have I gotten in the last year? Like
Yeah, I haven't
3
heard anything
maps,
good about
no
zombies.
actual Easter egg. It's just survival. It's like if it was just going to be survival, why didn't you just say that?
Yeah.
Now I feel like I got lied to. Whole new story, all new guns, all new perks. Yeah, whole new story, all new guns, all new perks, no Easter egg. What do you think the people play zombies for?
Yeah. No extra challenges, none of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I
It's
feel like we
I'm just
gotta.
surviving for rounds on rounds and rounds. I can do that. Give me a challenge. Give me something to look
Yeah.
forward to. And all I hear is the announcer in the game doing the same thing. Oh, if you keep playing rounds, maybe he'll come. Who is he?
Yeah. I think the thing that made Elden Ring, or it makes right now Elden Ring good is that one, we have a promise of expansion, but that does not mean that when the game came out, we immediately have microtransactions. And I think that's one of the huge things that
Yeah,
makes-
like
Or that the game was
purchases and
incomplete.
whatnot.
And the
Yeah,
DLC
or-
was
yeah,
completing the game.
it was complete and no microtransactions. So we bought the game once, we got a full experience and more because this game is so open. Okay, here's the last game I bought. I think that I felt okay like that with was GTA 5, and that was probably the last time because GTA
For
5
me-
released at least the single player portion released as a full game. You know, obviously a fully open world, all that stuff and things like that. GTA 5.
I mean, the Elden
and-
Ring map
yeah.
is like humongous.
Yeah,
like,
it's huge. It's huge. They put a lot of time into that. A lot of time into the different
What's
stuff
the
going
size
on.
of the game? Like gigs?
I haven't. I have it here. Hold on.
So now,
actually, I don't think it's that big though.
now my question becomes: what we're kind of seeing, and I agree. Elden Ring seems like so far the most complete, most fun. People are loving it.
Yeah.
Do you think that the problem is catering to the multiplayer experience, and that these games that are trying to have competitive multiplayer or people playing against each other, that's the issue? Because I feel like other than single player experiences, we may never get a full, complete game where it feels so like you feel so intensely and you want to play, like you want to get off work and play it, right? Like we kind of got that with Halo 5 a little bit, but I feel like CODs are kind of getting reskinned. Maybe some people still like that. But for the most
thing,
part, I feel like when it comes to multiplayer experiences, is it doomed forever? It kind of feels like maybe it is.
I think
Yeah,
the
I
games
mean-
that come out that are good like that, like okay, I would say one of the last good games that got put out, like let's say an FPS, right, multiplayer, all that stuff, was Titanfall. I think Titanfall was a completely good package experience. Titanfall 2 also had a
Colin's
campaign
face.
as well. Titanfall
I
was
just
good.
gotta think about it. I just gotta think about
Titanfall
it.
was good.
I'm processing.
Titanfall was 100% good.
What
You're
did
talking
did
about-
Titanfall release
about-
before Halo 5?
Yeah, Titanfall
Yeah.
2,
Oh, okay.
I think released before Halo 5.
But you're
Titanfall
talking
1
like
definitely.
innovative. I don't play anymore, but I think Apex was like one of the best. Like
Apex was also good.
FPS is
on
like
release, yeah,
everybody was stealing their stuff.
and still is. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Battlefield or not Battlefield. COD just put in redeploy balloons.
Yeah, COD, Apex, and Fortnite are slowly becoming all the same game, just
Yeah.
their own way. Like they're taking all the innovative stuff, all the best stuff. I mean, Apex's ping system was one of the first games that had that ping system on a large scale where you could ping, and I mean, it instantly got yoinked by all those games. So, and even in the future, cool games that are coming out are gonna have the same ping system. So
I remember going
cool.
back.
Overwatch
to
2
PUBG,
included.
PUBG afterwards, and like, oh wait, PUBG added ping like Apex. That's kind of crazy. Elden Ring is only 49 gigs.
That's not
Okay,
bad.
okay.
Yeah. The only other game I would say that was good that we paid for because we had to pay for it at the time was also Destiny. Destiny pre DLC was good.
Yeah. I mean, like it was expected though. Like they didn't. They
No-
definitely didn't hold
no
back. They-
game-
Time,
no game is worth $250. I don't
you're
care
not wrong.
how complete it
No,
is.
not-
It's
yeah.
6 different games in one, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
I
That's
don't
that's the
care.
problem.
Base
Because,
game,
like-
the experience was new. Like everything was just
Right.
Like, it was very fun. It
Right.
was cool. Like you work up to it, and then you get
Yeah.
all your friends together, and then you try and figure out this new raid.
Yes, but
If
then
I
like
pay,
after it got so repetitive,
I
though,
just
it's
got
like
the new
after-
DLC. I mean, I just don't feel it. Like, I mean, it's just like
Oh, really?
whatever.
after
is
the
it
after
lost feeling for you?
what was it?
It's just
not
like
Iron
the same
Banner.
shit over and
Exactly.
over again. I
For
mean, it's a
me,
new
after
raid, but once you beat it, it's like, okay, now what? Like now I just go back to grinding.
Okay, that's
Like
interesting.
they have a
What
new
was-
loot system, which is kind of interesting, and it's good for like PvP if you want
So-
to grind, and then
So
you
it
can
lost its
craft
touch.
custom
Yeah.
weapons. But I mean, other than
Interesting.
that, it's like, what else is new?
So
It's
my
like what was it? The Taken King. That was the last DLC I got, and then
For
I was just
Destiny
like,
1, yeah.
yeah. Then I was just like, it just became a lot of the same thing. So when they announced Destiny 2, I was like, am I gonna get new planets? Am I gonna get longer stories? Because I'm not paying $15 for 3 quests.
At
Just
80,
3.
$80, you got maybe 4 hours of story, like, and then a raid.
It's
And
like
then-
the
and then a
classes
new
that they
weapon
added was
system,
cool.
like-
The weapons they added were cool. The raids they added were nice. But like when I'm only getting 1 raid every 3 DLCs, like
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
paying
also
$45 for that.
when
might as well get
Destiny
another
first came
game.
out, and there was like an actual push to learn mechanics and do all that stuff, and learn different raid bosses and how they
Oh, yeah.
work and everything. That was fun. But now, even when the new raids come out, people are so sweaty. Well, I mean, there's an incentive there, but people are so sweaty that these mechanics are learned in minutes, and then they're
Oh,
publicized,
yeah.
Well, it's
like-
not minutes. It's not,
not
minutes.
minutes, but I
But
mean,
the
World's First
exaggeration
is
is
within
people really
24
do
hours.
try and learn
World's
it as
First
quickly as possible.
took 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
So I mean, that's even crazy.
Who?
I think that's crazy. World's First. World's
That
First is what
Destiny 2?
Destiny does. No. World's First is what Destiny does every time there's a raid.
Every new
Um,
raid. I
So
watched
it's
this.
the,
one. I mean,
the
it was
first group of
interesting.
people to actually go and beat the raid.
It only took
first,
them
like-
8 hours.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
only 8 hours.
Like what? The Vault of Glass, and I forgot that one where you go up and you destroy like the giant boss who turns out to be a machine.
Yeah, it's Vault of Glass.
No,
No, that's not Vault of Glass.
He's talking about the Cabal.
Yeah, that
Uh,
one.
The
Those were my
big
2
fat
favorite.
guy that we
Yeah,
all,
that end up being
we all
a
did
robot.
that DLC. It was
Those-
Ball.
Those 2 were my favorite raids.
Yeah, Vault
But, like-
of Glass World's First took 14 hours.
Yeah.
They played it consistently for 14 hours.
But like they probably got stuck on that Vex part where you like had to kill all the different things at a certain
Crota
time.
was 6 hours. King's Fall was 7 hours. So it kind of fell off after the first one. People knew what raids were, kind of what you needed
What
to
to
do.
expect.
Wrath of the Machine took 2 hours.
the Leviathan raid.
The
Leviathan is what
Leviathan.
we-
Yeah.
Leviathan took
That was
5.5 hours. So like these have got significantly shorter.
So this one was actually
The Last
more
Wish,
complex than
the last one we tried to play, actually took 19 hours. So it was the
Is
longest
that the
one.
one where you guys like had to shoot batteries and go in and out of rooms?
Yep.
No, that was Leviathan.
I thought that was the Last Wish.
No, the with the 2 separate rooms. That
Yeah.
was Leviathan. We went
Wait,
outside.
are you talking about
eventually,
with
and,
the fuse?
Yeah, the fuses. That's Leviathan.
That's Deep Stone.
Oh, Deep Stone.
Oh,
never
deep.
mind.
I don't even see Deep Stone
Damn.
on here.
Deep Stone,
It's
Crypt.
my favorite raid. I actually really like that raid.
Yeah,
when I
don't-
got back into
Let me
Destiny, like
see.
that raid
like
is
wa-
so much fun.
I like
The
watching you
mechanics
guys.
are very interesting.
I like
What
watching
was
you
it
guys,
called,
but, like,
Papa?
Deep
Stone
Stone
Crypt.
Crypts.
I like watching you guys, but I couldn't.
I
couldn't
still
get back
like
into
running
it.
that one.
I'm all about the shallow.
To
water
be honest,
bloods.
just because it like feels nice to run. Like it's
Like after
very,
the
it was very fresh.
after
we did
Five
that on a
5.5
whim,
hours
actually.
for Deep Stone.
Jeez.
We did it on a whim when we all went in there. It was like, oh, let's just try this one randomly, and then, yeah, it was pretty nice. I like that.
Yeah.
It's
So
like after the first Destiny, it was just like if I'm not gonna get anything new, if I'm not gonna get anything different, like the classes, I am happy that they added new classes to people because like when I got the hammer, oh, I was back on Destiny. I was
Yeah,
I think they failed by not
They
exploring
are
that more.
updating
To be
all
honest,
the classes.
I
Yeah,
feel like
all
they
of
should
the
have added
classes-
way more classes.
what more than
Yeah,
the
100%.
Interesting.
my whole thought process was I thought they were going to I thought the last class was going to be something you could like interchange, something you could make personal. Like if you wanted to have an art class and have it with certain abilities and whatnot, then you'd be able to do that, not just the basic art class. If you want the art class, but then you want to add like the hammer throw that regenerates health if you kill someone with it, like those
Oh, that's
types.
like,
That's what I thought
part
it
of
was
the
going to
new update. I mean that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've modded it to where like you can like make it do pretty much what you want it to do now.
Well, I can have a light.
But it's only for Void right now. They like each
I
season
mean, I
they're
guess-
gonna add a new one.
I guess bubble class is still open.
Yeah, each season they add a new one, and you only have to pay $9.99 to get access.
I'm not paying at all.
Easy.
You know, I ain't playing that game. I'll watch you guys.
But here-
No,
If
it's part
Destiny
of-
was free,
It's
Mhm.
part of the
Um,
base. You're not gonna have to
okay.
pay for the new
was more
class
free.
stuff.
No,
but you
okay,
gotta
buddy,
wait
we'll-
till
we'll
they
see.
finish up.
We'll
I'm
see.
I'm just not playing it again. Like
We'll
I gotta
see.
do it, but it's
hey
like
Tyler,
it's
how
lost
much
its
is
luster
Bungie
for
paying
me.
you, bro? To say all this right now.
How much is Bungie paying you?
I already told you. I'm not loving the new.
Yeah.
The new red.
So
That's
the
crazy.
question for me, and Destiny brings it up, especially with how much we had to pay. Is it our fault? Are we expecting too much for every game to be like
No.
GTA 5 or
No.
So
free to play
if we really-
or
if we really think
more
about it,
content or
that's a,
like,
that's
is
a
it
real good point.
is it our fault?
I think at base, what a lot of people hate is updates or games that come out and then the servers being trashed. I think that's like one of the biggest things because like
Yeah.
I wasn't so big in Apex 2 years ago when I was playing. This past year when season 10 came out and then no one could play for like 3 days, I was heated.
that was our issue
I
with
was-
season 8 whenever Valkyrie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
it was.
were
I was
pissed,
so
bro.
pissed. It's just like, and the thing is, the same thing happens in other games like COD. Same thing happens in Battlefield. It's like you guys know what you guys are expected to do. Like you guys don't want to have a huge server failure like the previous game, but here we are experiencing a huge server failure like the previous game. What are you not? Why are you not trying to fix this?
Yeah,
Apex
yeah.
did well with the last 2 seasons. No server crashes. People are able to log in. People are able to download their stuff. Got. Now I will say that with Apex, they're losing their flair for content as far as like skins go. The skins are just not that good, or not that great anymore.
Bloodhound skin was nice. The
Well,
aggressive
the
one.
new one that looks like something out of.
You think maybe
ADC.
they're pulling resources for a different game? Apex 2,
I feel
some
like
kind
they-
of
I feel like
sequel,
they're
maybe
catering-
some kind of different.
I think in the seasons they're just catering to the people who play certain characters because I haven't seen a really like I like Lifeline and I like Ash. Ash got some good skins when she first came out. She's not getting any good skins
Oh, the
next
good
season.
skins,
Like,
good skins are the ones you have to pay for. I mean, 100%.
but yeah, but I'm just saying they're not always available, so you got to
But I mean,
constantly
you
play
can
until
always
they're
just earn
available
enough
again.
currency to buy the skins.
Right.
you
No,
can.
and it's like I have the what do you call it? Crafting
pass.
materials. I have the crafting
Oh, that
materials
thing,
to
yeah.
actually get the skin I want. It's just like when is it going to be available again? You know, because they only keep so many rare, so many epic ones
Well, that's how they get. That's how they
available
draw
to
you
you
in.
every season. So it's like you
That's
got
how
to
they
keep
get
playing.
their,
And I understand. That's what I'm saying. That's
replay
part of the
value.
game. You got to keep playing it to get the things you want. They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't want it to be readily available because then you get it. Then how often are you going to actually play?
I think. Wait. So, Patty, the question.
Are we expecting
are
too
we-
much? Is it our fault?
Nah, because unless something critical or crazy has changed in the gaming industry to where we gone from low technology or lower technology and we have these full massive games, doesn't matter if the graphics weren't great, they were good back then. These massive games, that played out well and stuff like that. So where we have
Yeah.
more technology now, we get less. That's bullshit, honestly.
They're putting like 80. They're putting like 80 gigs worth of stuff on a disc, and then
Yeah.
waiting until 3 months later to be like, oh yeah, wait for this update, and then all you have to do is put your disc in.
No,
It's like
bro.
It's like a 5 gig update, but the disc already had all the information on the entire
Yeah,
time.
what's wilder, the update on release. Like we just download the full game, but what do we get the disc for? Why do we have to download the entire game? We have the disc.
Exactly. So it's
It's
like,
just stupid.
no, we're not. I don't think we're expecting too much. I think that I think they're getting lazy because they know how easy it is. It's like for me,
100%.
it's like when I got my job, right? And I've been working the same job for a little bit over a year. Now I'm working 2 jobs. Why? Because the first job became so repetitive. It's like I could do that while working another job, while training, while learning something new. Because it's just like it's gonna be the same thing over and over. People are gonna buy the game. People are not gonna really care if the servers go down. When they do go down, they're gonna complain, but they're still gonna play the game.
And this is my take on it as well. This goes into something a little bit else, not too much, but I think it's for people being like sheep to stuff as well. Like we're just mindless drones buying the same stuff over and over again.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take a shot at Apple as well as like you're like a sheeple when you go in and go to Apple and stuff like that. It's like you just have the same thing every year with less features sometimes. Regardless, we're gonna go back to the games. I think EA did real bad or made it real bad because EA put out a new sports game every single year for the past 20 years. I
And
think.
a lot of people don't know those games literally farm people. They're just farming people's money.
Yeah, 100%.
There's not new it's barely new content, and with the my team
what new
and
content
all
do
that.
you need with a sports game? Like,
Well,
just
The last-
update the
More
roster.
last time-
more innovation. You know what I mean? New game
the last
modes.
time
They don't care
actually-
about that stuff though.
The last game that they had that was good because they actually let stuff roll over from year to year. I think it was like 2004, 2005. That was like the last NBA, or maybe it was 2000. I was in
NBA
middle
Live?
school, so it had to be between 2006 and 2008. But they had this real cool feature that was like, we're going to bring in the stats from what's going on in the game, in the real life games, and then your players, depending on what team you play for, will play according to those stats. So if they were really off the night before, they're gonna be really off on your games that you play
real time.
today.
Oh,
Yes, those were really nice updates, and then they would allow you to play with the rock. So those are the last nice games because what they did was they updated the roster every year, so you could have a 2006, 2008 2K game, and it would have lasted you till 2010, 2011 when they stopped that feature because every year they just updated the rosters. And they did the same thing. They let you know exactly how they're playing, and then they just updated their stats. Like if they were hot, they were shooting 80% from the field. Oh, they're gonna be hot for you when you play today, when you play against this specific team. But they cut that out like before I left high school because it wasn't making them any money. People could just keep 2006 all the way up until probably now if they hadn't disabled that feature.
Yeah, EA is super greedy for that. EA also did. EA does or is it Origin? Or no, Origin did Assassin's Creed.
Same thing.
And that came out yearly for a while.
Yep.
Wait, no, not Origin. Not what was it then? It's not Ubisoft. I mean Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed that came out yearly for a while, and they finally changed that model. And then obviously Activision and COD, yearly type of thing.
Yeah, it's
we
the same
know
thing.
these mindless people will go and just buy this game because we're putting out something new. Bungie actually,
Right.
I give
I
Bungie
mean-
credit because they tried to do something different. They tried to do what we're saying about like EA and their sports games, like.
But then they just
Mhm.
joined in.
But again, if Bungie wanted people to buy their game, I think they should have definitely made it separate games.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hey, Destiny Witch Queen, this is a separate game.
Yeah.
You can continue playing it kind of in portion with this game, but or the other expansions.
But it's not like
hey, this is a separate
it's not like a whole new game. It's not like
No,
they're
it's
getting
not.
like 80 hours.
It's not,
of
but that's how they get
repayable
people not to
content.
complain about
Paying for
stuff.
it.
Yeah, this is the whole reason I'm not buying into Destiny right now.
Like
'cause-
there's three things you want. You want novelty, something new. Like
Yep.
you want replayability,
Mhm.
and then you want to feel like you've accomplished something by playing the game.
Yeah,
Right.
and,
It's like when
and large part of Destiny, you don't get you get like half of those things, honestly. Like
Yeah.
5 of each of those things.
Like
and it's
COD
not
was
good.
good for a while when they were coming out back and forth with something that was like, what do you call that? Something that was fabricated history versus actual history.
But I think
Like-
part of that too is like over time now it becomes repetitive because there's so
Right.
many. Because we're
Yeah,
older,
because
right?
like with the thing,
Yeah, we
with that,
know,
exactly
yeah.
that. What had happened was after like Modern Warfare 2, they had to start pushing it because Modern Warfare 2 was set in like modern day.
Yeah.
Like you've already done all the old wars.
Right. Now it's like, okay, this
And now
is a
you've
new
done the
war. This
future
is happening
war.
in like 2006 and stuff like that. But it's like, cool, great, Danny. I'm like, just as long as they don't push beyond that. As soon as they came out with like Black Ops
Like-
3, I think. Black Ops 3, Ghost, Infinity Warfare. I was like, bruh, you can't go all the way into like 2022 and just be like, oh yeah, we're doing these things now. This is what we expect to happen. And it's like,
Yeah.
who's the president?
Just
They
take your
they grabbed the
resources.
face from Angela Bassett and put her as president. I was just like, bruh, we gonna have a black president in 2022. She gonna be a woman. Oh my goodness! But it's just like it is like you can only go so far into the future, and now they're just like pulling back. They're redoing the old
Yeah,
wars.
the next one
And-
needs to be fantasy warfare. Like we need Madden.
I'm not buying it if they
mean-
not
I
giving me
mean-
good zombies. I'm not buying it.
You
Like,
can take all this money that you've made from all these games and put a team together and make something that's actually new.
true.
Originality's dead is a problem though.
Yeah.
It's very much a problem.
With that, that's a good point because I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys knew this, but in 2021, Apex Legends made EA $600 million only for microtransactions because it's a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made 600 mil. It was so big that they accounted for 13% of EA's annual live service revenues. They made 4.5 billion, but Apex alone was 13%. So
That's
Crazy.
crazy.
the question is, with the server issues or lack of content or skins not really being fleshed out, I mean, how does it make you feel knowing that they still made 600 million last year, and yet there's still issues or content doesn't feel like it lives up. You know,
I
like
guess I'm not mad because
I mean,
ultimately
it's a
the game
free-to-play
is
game.
it's a free to play game. It's nice. It can be competitive. Like it's
It,
it's
it,
it beats what do you call Warzone. It beats Warzone for me. Just because
but it's like you making the choice to spend that money.
yeah.
It's
Also,
not like,
you
it's
can
not like
but
they're like,
but don't you
Ryan,
think that
you
money
can
should
play.
be going back into the game? 600
Oh
million.
yeah.
I understand.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
100%.
it's
Or at least a
EA's
portion
fault.
of it.
I think it's
I
EA's fault
mean, you're gonna have
specifically.
issues on it on a new update. Like you're pushing new like code into a game. Like you're gonna have issues.
Yes, but
Mm,
I think the server
mm.
issues are like, okay, hey, we see our current data player base and we think maybe it'll go up by 50% or maybe even double. They don't account for the massive influx of people
For
that
sure.
actually enjoy their game and stuff like that. So all the servers that physically they take offline for a little while and stuff like that, they just don't plug them back in. That's just them being
Yep.
lazy.
Of course.
That's just them being lazy.
And that's the problem. It's like you're not even for microtransactions. Like I said before, it's like you don't want this to happen again, but you're not really doing any sort of preventive maintenance to make sure it doesn't happen again to keep your players happy.
Yep.
Like I said, for the last 2 years, it's been good. The updates have been solid. I mean, there've been some slight bugs where people cheat with guns and whatnot, but that's like the norm. People are going to find ways to cheat and like game the system. But at least
FOMO
people
lag
are
was
able
the
to
funnest thing.
play. That is the big thing. If people are able to play, people will be happy.
100%.
My thing is, shouldn't Apex be the best game to have ever existed? You know, it's made $1 billion.
Total since release.
Apex has earned EA more than $1 billion since release.
I think
Shouldn't it be the best game to exist at
should.
$1 billion? Can't you hire the best?
I think
Out of the
it's-
BRs, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
100%. I think
$1
Apex
billion.
is,
like
or the
this-
reason Apex, if it fails at all or is failing and stuff like that, it's EA's fault,
I
not
like the way
Respawn's
the
fault.
guns shoot. I mean,
Right.
I like all the mechanics. I
It's
like
not-
the art style.
Yeah, it's not like it's like when you play the game, you play it strategically. You think about it. It's not just like people running in, jumping back and forth with a Mac
So I
just
misquoted.
annihilating an entire team.
They're creeping on 2 billion. My bad. They're about to break 2 billion. My bad.
That's crazy. Bro,
It's
it's
like-
EA. It's 100% EA's fault. It's not Respawn's fault. I think Respawn loves their games, and it's always been decent quality. Titanfall both Titanfalls died way too fast. I think they should got a lot more.
Titanfall 2
credit, a lot
should
more
have.
love.
Yeah, Titanfall 2. I'm not gonna say Titanfall 2 shouldn't have ended the way it ended. It was a great story, especially continuing from
Nah,
Titanfall 1.
I'm just replayability. I'm talking about people just leaving the game. Like same thing happened
yeah.
in Titanfall 1. Like we know these are really good mechanics. Like this is a good system, yada yada. But for whatever reason, these people aren't playing it.
I mean,
because-
you're talking about a game without a campaign. You're talking about
Oh no,
yes.
Titanfall. I thought Titanfall 2 had a campaign.
Titanfall 1 didn't have it had a pseudo.
It wasn't a campaign. It was multiplayer,
matchmaking
literally.
I'm talking about-
It was
I'm talking about
cinematic
Titanfall 2.
multiplayer.
Titanfall.
Yeah,
2 didn't have a
cinematic
campaign.
multiplayer is a good way to put it.
Titanfall 2 did.
Okay,
It's-
that's what
it's
I thought we were
also
talking about.
built-
Titanfall 2.
it's built for like it seems like it's built for like a competitive scene that it never built for itself.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Right. Like it was made to be competitive, but they never made a competitive scene.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, like-
it fell off in that kind of way. And
So
like
you're
I said,
not playing it
regardless-
unless you're super sweaty because that's the only people who enjoyed playing the game because of like the skill gap.
Yeah. So again, I feel like Respawn always has put a lot of love into their games. And if there's any fault with Apex right now, it's because of EA specifically.
I just mean 1 billion. Shouldn't there be like? I mean,
No, they're
And,
taking
do
a
we
pocket
think-
and all that, bro.
And do we think EA is actually leading this, or is Respawn actually leading this whole?
No, EA is making the executive decisions. Respawn is just
Yeah,
like,
100%.
okay, we gave you the base.
But do we really think they're making the executive decision?
100%.
EA is, yes, 1,000%.
It's a money
EA
grab
is-
for sure.
Because that's what EA's done. That's their track record. Like it doesn't
I mean,
matter
like-
who's leading a game or who's
mean-
actually developing it. Like EA is gonna be greedy regardless.
Yep.
I understand they're going to be greedy, but I'm just saying it's like it's different when the game is like free to play. Of course, people might spend money on packs,
But see,
to try and get skins.
EA has learned that lesson because they put out games.
Okay, so you think
perfect example is they put out a Star Wars game where they want you to pay for DLC, they want you to pay for in-game content, and they get a big backlash. So they retract that and they say, "Okay, yeah, that's our bad. We're not going to do that."
Yeah.
So they've learned a lesson from the way that we need to do this is cosmetics, microtransactions. We don't lock content. We just get people to buy stuff that they don't need. And that's what they do. They do it with FIFA. They do it with 2K. They do it with Star Wars games. They do it with Apex. But
I was
nearly
actually upset
$2
about
billion. Shouldn't Apex be the greatest game to have ever been created?
Yeah. We should be able.
Who
to
can you
to
hire? You
literally-
can hire Elon Musk for $2 billion. Like, how is that not the best game to have ever existed?
literally send Apex to the moon.
That's what I'm saying. Like, $2 billion. That's so much money in a free to play game. Where, to be honest, like, how much? And I'm not hating. I'm just saying, all that money's coming from skins, right? You're not buying no maps. You're not buying no game modes. So the skins team, like, how much time are you really putting in to make one skin? A couple weeks? Like, come on, bro. It's not. It's really not that
That's what I
hard.
was saying. That's what I was saying. Like, I feel like they're catering to the tier list of how many people actually play a certain character because, like, yeah, Bloodhound is a fan favorite character out there. I could see why Bloodhound got a really nice skin like that. Like, and that skin came with a finisher too.
Yeah,
So,
I think the reason they did that is because Bloodhound technically was the first character they ever created. So
But like, there was like 4 or 5 other characters. There's like 5 other characters that came out with the game, right?
Yes, with the game. I'm saying, like, in their concept art, like in their process, Bloodhound was technically.
It's a
No,
league.
though. It's just like there
I'll
are
give
5
that.
other
That's all
characters
I'm
that
saying.
came out with him, but like between him, Gibby, and what's that?
It was
Oh.
it was Pathfinder, Gibby, Lifeline.
Pathfinder. Between those 3, like, they get some really nice skins.
Yeah,
It's
Pathfinder's cool.
It's the League of Legends model. League of Legends been doing it for 10 years. You just put out skins for the most popular characters, and you don't care about everyone else. Honestly.
Like,
Watson
Octane has some really
awful
nice
skins.
skins, but I have
Yep.
not seen a really nice Octane skin in a long time.
Ornn has 3 skins.
Yeah, there's characters with 3 skins, and there's characters that literally have double digits, almost 15 skins.
Yeah,
And-
Lux has it as like 15.
And the reason is, she makes money. She's a cute girl. This guy's a big bruising tank. Like, no one wants those skins. We're not going to make them. Because they want to make money.
There's this one guy I follow on.
I'm only saying, bro, $2 billion, bro.
Dude had every like every Bloodhound skin for like 2 seasons. It was insane because he didn't realize he had every Bloodhound skin until like he opened up a Bloodhound specific pack, and then he got a skin. But he's like, "Oh, I already have the skin." And then he went back and he looked like, "Oh shit, I have every skin." It's like
I didn't know they gave you duplicate.
they just give you a duplicate, and then that duplicate gets broken down into crafting material apparently.
Okay.
So it's just
Hey.
like whatever that skin would be worth, and it wasn't like an epic. It was like a rare. It's a purple.
Yeah.
So it just broke down to like 600 crafting material or something like that. 800.
Yeah, so,
For how much money Apex has made?
It's crazy.
Okay, so let's compare it, right? Fortnite's crazy, and the amount of stuff that it's made. Look up how much money Fortnite has made, because it's also a free game, so very much following the Apex model as well.
Fortnite made way more. Fortnite in 2018 alone made $5.4 billion. In 2019, they made $3.7 billion. So most likely, Fortnite is north of $10 billion, I would guess.
And the thing that they do really well is get contracts with popular pop culture stuff.
In 2020, they made another 5.1. So yeah, if I had to guess, Fortnite's definitely north of $10 billion. I would guess.
Yeah, so
I've
Fortnite
only
puts
had
their
a
money
small
into
taste of the
making-
gameplay. I don't really like how the guns handle in that game very much.
I'm not
You-
really
you-
big
you
fan
got
of like the
some of the-
third person
Whatchamacallit.
in it. Like I've played third person shooters, and I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest, but like Fortnite was fun until I realized I just didn't like third person shooting.
For us, we were playing PUBG before they had first person mode added in. So it's I wouldn't say it's normal, but
I mean, that part's whatever.
Oh yeah, we're kind of seasoned with, or more of like it doesn't affect us too much.
Yeah, we have hundreds of hours on PUBG. Playing third person BR, you just get used to it.
Yeah. So it just takes time for that stuff. But I'd say Fortnite put in money to get these contracts with Marvel, You get the contracts with obviously
For cosmetics.
Roll.
The other thing too is don't forget Fortnite's competitive scene and how much money they put into that as well.
Yeah, yes,
People are
yes.
people are winning legitimate money, life changing money, millions of dollars. So
Also, I'm
And also,
sorry
they've
to
done
an
a bunch
earlier
of
note.
virtual
Also, I feel
concerts
like
too,
they're
right? They did a virtual concert with Travis Scott.
yeah, they did.
Somebody
yeah,
else. Yeah,
Marshmallow
stuff
or
like that.
something
So,
like that.
yeah.
yeah.
So that stuff is crazy. That's where they're putting in their money, and it's a huge return for them as well.
Do you think Apex should have crossovers and stuff like that? Do you think they're
Not
missing
that
out?
I like it, but
No.
I think they are building strictly.
I mean, EA has Star Wars, right? You guys wouldn't buy Star Wars skins on Apex
Oh,
or
100% I would.
Um,
Well, they did. They had a Star Wars keychain thing for your gun.
Yeah.
because EA owns all
like a
that
char-
stuff,
like
right?
a charm, like a
Yeah,
charm.
EA owns it all. Yeah, it's like a charm.
I think
EA
I think I
owns
wouldn't.
the,
I don't think I would mind them doing a crossover.
Battlefield.
It's just like
Battlefront.
them implementing it, because if they implement it in like skins, it'd be
They-
interesting to see those skins.
They take
Yeah, 100%.
themselves very seriously.
The difference
what it feels like.
between because they're trying to do their own universe basically. The difference between Fortnite and Apex when it comes to how they implement stuff is Fortnite literally would takes a story and puts it in their universe immediately. You can't just
Yeah.
drop Star Wars in the middle of Apex and be like, oh
Yeah,
hey,
I mean, you could drop skin. You could drop Star Wars skins.
yeah, you
in
can drop
there.
skins, yeah,
But, like,
Apex
not like
feels like it
maps
has
or anything like
a
that.
lore. Like Fortnite
Yeah.
is like you're
Yeah,
here.
Fortnite's just like you
Fortnite
get a.
technically has a story as well. It has a lore, but it's literally anything they've ever put in the game is
It's
thrown
just so
also into
random.
that lore. Which
just
everything's
so
random.
random.
Which is I
like
think
like the
goes
whole
into,
bomb
like,
hit in the middle of the woodland, and then like somehow there's like equipment set up there for people to like study in the area. I was
They
like,
shut
wait a minute, when did this
down-
get here?
like last year, maybe 2 years ago, they shut down the servers for 2 days or something like that, and then basically they inverted or flipped the map like on itself and say, hey, like this is kind
Yeah,
of
one thing you can hate Fortnite all you want, but one thing they've done, they've always been really innovative. Obviously,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nancy said, you can tell they're spending legitimate money to try and
I like a new
add
map.
stuff.
It's like when you're not it's like when you're not restricted to a specific lore or a previous game.
Exactly.
You can
you
do whatever you
want.
really want.
100%.
So
100%.
Fortnite's going to be around for a long time. It's just
Yeah,
going to be
but-
like a lot of different. Like I don't doubt it. And as distasteful as it sounds, I don't doubt that they're going to make a Will Smith skin, and it's going to be an
They already
emote
have.
where he
Wait,
just
did
like
they?
throws up slap
Okay, I don't.
or something
I
like
don't
that.
actually-
Like I really don't doubt that there's going to be a Will Smith
There's
skin
a
soon.
Will Smith skin already. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
I think so. There is one. Yeah, it's him from Bad
Oh,
Boys.
No, I'm talking about there's going to be one with him in
Oh,
a
yeah, I
suit,
know,
like
yeah,
he's like
yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it's Mike Lowry. His name.
All right, so we'll wrap up here for the pod. This will actually be episode 2. I just thought we actually should have a more introductory episode where
Yeah,
people can get to know us and
everybody
stuff like
knows.
that. So
Yeah,
no,
that's from
there's
conversation.
probably
Okay,
tons of
okay.
people that don't know us. So I think like at a later date we'll kind of do a let people know who we are type thing and how we met each other and stuff like that, because I imagine that matters too, especially because we've known each other for a long time. So we can't just assume everyone knows who we are and how we met and stuff like that. So
Cool.
hey, I appreciate you guys coming through and spending the time chatting it up. You guys want to give some final remarks? Nancy, we'll go ahead and start with you.
I stand by Chris Rock.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Quan, what do you got to say?
Nipsey House stands
Uh,
by Chris Rock. Stands with Chris Rock.
I
You
don't got
stand
nothing.
Chris Rock? Okay.
I don't got nothing to say other than you want some fire ass artwork. You better hit up your boy
True.
Patty and talk to him about get some commissions, man. Because I already know I'm gonna get my Inuyasha whether he likes it or not, man. I'm gonna
Hey,
get my
does he have
Inuyasha tonight.
My sister and her husband were not very happy about that. She was watching the stream and she ended up showing him your reaction to open it, and he said he was very, very happy that you were happy.
Hey.
He said he would pay anything, especially in Inuyasha, and I was like, that's
Oh.
not happening.
Bro,
we're
he's
not-
gotta
Oh.
pay my
I'm
Inuyasha,
not
bro.
I'm not middleman in that one. No way.
Does your brother-in-law have a stage name, or I guess not a stage name, but like an artist name?
No, he doesn't.
Oh yeah, he should have signed the back of it. Damn it.
Yeah.
I think he did. If he didn't, I'll make sure he does in the future. Sometimes he forgets it.
Just have him sign it and then ship it to
Oh
him.
no, he signed it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So his name is Ricky, but he doesn't have a he. But that's something to think about for sure in the future.
Ricky
My
is
God,
such an
this is
easy
so-
name. Like,
Yeah.
Shit is
It's
just
so easy
fire
for like
right there, bruh.
any type of artist name.
Yeah,
R.I.K.
he's killing it, bro. He's
that's lit.
he's hooking me up big time. So, Papa, you got anything to say?
Hey, Raw Ricky.
Hey, thanks for the shout out, Quan. You're the guy.
bruh.
As always, it's good hanging out, you know.
Hey, let's see.
I'm just happy to be here for Greg.
Let's see the
Yeah.
baby. Go
Papa
get the
pulling the
baby.
I'm happy to be here for
Yeah,
Greg.
go get the
That
baby.
baby.
Nah, go
Go
get
get
your
the baby.
wife.
The baby's
That
sleeping.
baby is asleep.
Hey,
She photobombing.
that's also the thumbnail, by the way, Papa. So I hope you're
Small Dick- hey, that's the name. That's the name of the podcast.
the small dick in it. Hey, I'm with it. Hey,
bruh.
I'm with it. That could be the name of the. That could be the name of the whole pod. I don't mind.
We got so wait.
I don't
it's
mind.
gonna be like someone presents a story and then we gotta say if it's small dick energy or not.
I'm with it. I'm with it, bro.
Hey,
So, yeah.
I'm used to being trolled. It's all good.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You
I
know
was
some
blown
good
away.
fuel for that is like what's those Reddit things? It's like Ask Reddit, like the it's like they go on and they like tell a whole story about like the time I fucked up. So I think it's TIFU on Reddit, and they just go through like a whole.
Hey, I'm with it. We should do it. We could do it one episode. We'll just we'll read all those stories on Reddit, and I've also read some of those like people's horror stories about taking steroids and stuff like that. All the crazy stuff that's happened to them. I'm down with.
I've seen someone's peck like rip from their rotator cuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, start to bulge.
Nah. Cancel.
That's insane.
So
But yeah, shout out to the boys. We see each other all the time. Shout out to all you guys for watching. We'll definitely try to do more for you guys. I know people like this kind of long form content. So I appreciate you guys all watching. If you have any questions, requests, make sure you guys leave that stuff in the comments. Follow me at Patty Freaking Clips on YouTube, Twitch. Follow NintySG, YouTube, Twitch. Make sure you follow Cats Me Outside on Twitch. That's my guy. So we'll be around. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. There'll be more content coming soon, okay? We appreciate you guys.
true.